The army has been at the heart of the rough and tumble of Uganda's elective politics, falling victim of the trappings of power, and more often than not, find themselves making decisions favorable only to the ruling regime. Indicted twice by the Supreme Court for instigating violence during the 2001 and 2006 general elections, the spectre of violence still threatens the country. Uganda Law Society President Bruce Cherere feels the army should be relegated to the backbench of politics and political opponents should campaign on the rostrum without fear of reprisal.
A political opponent doesn't mean you are an enemy. It just means that you want to offer an alternative political program. And the Constitution allows that as well. Therefore, we should respect the rights and freedoms of everybody in the political process.
Cherere fears that extending the army representation in parliament is part of the intransigent nature to keep the military at the doorsteps of politics with a partisan outlook. However, political historian at Mackay University, Dr. Tango Doi, cites a sharply declining role of the army in the harassment of political opponents.
Vabedi Bwanika and his standoff with the police yesterday or the other day, I think so far things have not gone bad. A sign that our political firebrands have learned something and maybe forgotten something. I think if the trend goes like it's going, the role of the army may be minimal.
In some incidents, the army has been backed by quasi-military agencies engaged in cloak and dagger activities. One of the most dreaded paramilitary agencies is the Kalangala Action Plan, which gained notoriety in the 2001 election. Its leader, Major Roland Kakoza Mutale, a fickle figure, has lately been on the fringes.
Lesson to learn from the ruling. If the Kalangala Action Plan of Kakoza Mutale, for example, comes out in full swing, or if the RRU comes out in full swing, or if other civilian-looking army men come out to harass the population, it will be very bad for our democracy. The Shiboko squad must be limited. In fact, those are goons. They may beat me tomorrow, but the thing is that they don't reflect well. They don't give the country a very good image politically.
Recently, the army, perhaps learning from its past mistakes, said it would not intervene in the electoral process and would respect the verdict of the electorate.
No political party will find a hindrance from the UPDF in their legal and legitimate activities.
But Dr. Christopher Twesige, political science lecturer at Uganda Christian University Mukono, fears politics still revolves around the chaos theory.
Their mere presence intimidates the people. Because I have read reports of their presence in some areas which has frightened the voters, and they have been forced to cast their votes against their best judgment. So they shouldn't be there. The Kakoza Mutale group, those should have been banned. The Chiboko squad, paramilitary organizations of that nature should actually not be in our midst if we claim to be a democratic society or moving towards becoming a democratic society.
Opponents, critics and independent analysts fear carefully choreographed violence is always at fever pitch towards polling day, where the military apparatus and its ilk, oiled by state resources, is unleashed. In 2001, Parliament investigated claims of the military's overt involvement in the harassment of the regime's political opponents. The report, which was highly critical of the army's gross misconduct, has never seen the light of day.
The only role the army should be playing around election time is to guard our borders, to make sure that foreigners do not cross over, to come and take part in our elections. And also these terrorist organizations should not be able to come and disrupt our elections.
Uganda has had a history of bloodshed and anarchy, and though the UPDF has been credited for restoring a semblance of sanity, its record during elections leaves a lot to desire. Once again, its conduct during the 2011 elections will come under tight scrutiny. Emam Taiziwa, NTV.